Black man, get up. Black man, stand up. Black man, you better listen.
So there's a need for brotherhood.
Black man, get up. Black man, stand up. Black man, you better listen. Black man, get up. Black man, stand up. Black man, you better listen.
Brotherhood is demanded.
Black man, get up. Black man, stand up. Black man, you better listen.
Brotherhood is required. Brotherhood is demanded. Brotherhood is obligatory. Brotherhood is essential, it is urgent, and it is compulsory. But the time demands brotherhood. Whenever the dominant white society fears for its economic future, racial tensions are always aggravated. The aim of Almighty God is to bring the black man and woman together. The aim of Almighty God is that we, no matter how divided we have been in the past, must experience unity in order to gain the success that we seek and the progress that we desire. There is no way that a divided people can build a future. Brotherhood is required. Brotherhood is demanded. So there's a need for brotherhood. But if you walk the earth proud and arrogant, you never learn your lesson because you think you already know. And how in the hell could you know and be in the shape that we're in? How can there be any brotherhood if there's not even the honoring of a word?
Black man, get up. Black man, stand up. Black man, you better listen. Black man, get up. Black man, stand up. Black man, you better listen.
Welcome back and welcome to the second hour of the Black Agenda here on the Street 919 FM. I am Brother David Mohammed. We're going up to 9 o'clock. And shortly we will return to your phone calls. But as I said to you, I have just a very, very quick, very short, very swift editorial. And I want you to think deeply about this. Think about what I am saying to you here. Imagine, and I say in advance, pardon the abrasiveness of the analogy. But imagine someone kills your father and rapes your mother. And that person is caught and evidence is taken to the police. And then you, in following up on the investigation, you're informed by the law enforcement authorities that they are looking into the case and that charges are likely to be laid soon. And then, when you're expecting this person to be justifiably held accountable for their crimes, put in prison first, and then put to death for what they did, instead of them being prosecuted by the law, the same people who had all the evidence and all the information puts up a statue of the person who killed your father and raped your mother, and they're honoring this criminal after he committed those crimes against you and your family. Now, clearly you would be in shock. But this man is a murderer and a rapist, and you put up a statue of him? And then the law enforcement authorities tell you, well, but he did some good. You see, he donated some money to charity, and he helped some children with education, and he had a fund to help some needy people. So we're putting up a statue of him after he committed a crime like that? Now, there's this old saying that one man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist. And that we tend to look at situations like this from different perspectives based on the particular history that we have embraced. But if we have learned the history of our enemies, and if we have been educated in his learning institutions, then we will end up with a mind that is patterned after his will and his intentions. So as Brother Khalid used to say, our enemy has set up headquarters inside our heads. But a light is now starting to shine to illuminate us with some consciousness. So the statue of Edward Colston in Bristol in England, slave owner, slave trader, but member of parliament, trafficked 84,000 slaves in his time, 19,000 enslaved Africans died. They took down his statue on June the 7th, 2020, but 2 days later, the local government Department of London, the mayor's office, decided that they would take down a statue of Robert Milligan, who owned 526 enslaved Africans on his plantation in Jamaica. And now Winston Churchill, who is one of their greatest heroes of all times, they're pulling up all these statements about, he said, I feel no remorse whatsoever, paraphrasing, about what happened to the Native Americans and them being decimated, genocide being committed against them. I have no remorse against the genocide against the black people in Australia. He said, because a superior race has come in and conquered those lands. Wow. They have a statue of that man. Cecil Rhodes, they had a statue up of him, one of the architects of apartheid, who in his political policy expressed that the white race was superior and they must govern over African people. And now Christopher Columbus, in many ways, founding father of Western genocide. But we have, for all this time, looked at these characters through the lens of the same people who put us in enslavement, apprenticeship, colonialism, and gave us independence. And along with the independence that we gave, we persisted in a colonial education that recycled the mentality of our former colonizers and enslavers. So when we think like them, for them, against us. When we speak for them, against the best intentions and objectives and aims and goals for our own people. It's a conquered, colonized mind, where our enemy's education and its perspective has been injected in our heads. But now, there is a new awakening, there's a new enlightenment of consciousness, and it's spreading all around the globe. All right, so let's return to the phone lines. 342-0081 and 466-5391. And we're going to go into this topic on Monday. But on Monday, our subject is centered around the fact that we are killing each other. And that we, it appears, have become our own worst enemies. Let's go back to the phones. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Brother Mohammed.
Good morning to you.
You know, it is quite heartening to hear you make the opening statement this morning.
Which one?
All lives matters. Black killing black. These are the things that I'm getting from the other side of my citizens. We have two major races in this country, and the other major race, which is also a citizen of this country, is using these remarks. And here one of the remarks, how they could say that and they have a white God. That is also another one of their remarks. So I could remember, we have our first Prime Minister wrote a book, Capitalism to Slavery. The other one wrote a book from Mason Hall to Whitehall. I feel it's time we write a book from slavery to making pan. Because you know what? We have not identified ourselves yet as who we are in Trinidad and Tobago. As a Trinbagonian, and until black people identify themselves and understand I tell them I was here 300 years before you. I come massa cocoa and coffee and wait and put it on boats and send it and run the plantation before you came here. I was able to read and write before you came here.
Well, let me make a point about that, because we had come up with a phrase. We quote Marcus Garvey, where the Honorable Marcus Garvey said, "A people without a knowledge of their history is like a tree without roots." And then we added to that, a people who do not properly document their history run the risk of having that history rewritten by someone else.
I said we need to write a book from slavery to pan.
And this is what happened in 2012, around the time of the 50th anniversary of our independence, where there were a whole lot of false narratives. The UNC was in government then, and they hosted a series of celebrations. In fact, there was one in particular at Napa, where I understand the General Secretary of the United Nations was on video conference, Ban Ki-moon, and he made a statement.
Yes, I remember that.
Words to the effect of congratulating the Indian community for the invention of pan.
Yeah.
But where would that have come from, though? Because you would remember KC Confectionery, who make dinner mints and power mints and so on. Yep. They had a 50th anniversary independence souvenir of a pan.
Yep.
And on that souvenir, it mentioned that this pan was invented by members of the East Indian community.
Remember, there was a first time I see an East Indian man on television beating a pan. Brave. All over Trinidad and Tobago. Try to remember that. What was the name?
Jet Samaru. No.
No. They didn't want that nothing to do with it. They only deal with that when they was in office. And no, forget Jet Samaru. I'm going quite back there. I'm talking about in 2010. The first time
Adrian Jaikaran.
Some fella, I can't remember his name. The first time the UNC had a man playing pan anywhere they go to celebrate pan. First time, the UNC admit that pan, and because they decide what to take. That is why I say again, we as Trinbagonians have to learn our black, because our man tell me, we have a white God. I swear, the same white God saved me from the white man oppression, because I didn't ask to come here. Unlike you choose to come here. I was beaten, captured and beaten and come here, and the same thing you just expressed, forced to learn a particular culture. In my growing up, I was Christian and Anglican. I was to be converted to go to a Catholic school, and on a Saturday I go into church from 9 until about 2 o'clock. And then I end up in a Baptist religion. So we are confused. But you know one thing that gets me together? Let me ask you one question.
Uh-huh.
The greatest man in India, what is his name?
The greatest man in India.
Greatest, right.
Lord Ganges.
The modern day politician who died, his whole generation, what was his name? Gandhi. We have a statue of him in Tongue,
In San Fernando.
Yeah, we have one in Tongue too, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere where the Mazda company is, somewhere around there, if I'm not mistaken. Right. But when he started, what he started for? What was his fight in India about?
It was for the rights of Indian workers.
Indian workers, what religion was him?
He was Hindu, wasn't he?
First thing first, Brother Mohammed. His fight was for Hindus. In Trinidad and Tobago, if we have a fight, you see like how Black Lives Matters? All black people has come together, whether they're Christian, Anglican, Presbyterian, that is the difference.
Well, we need to.
That is the difference between us and them. Up to this day in India, there is still a war between Muslims and Hindus.
Kashmir.
Enjoy your morning, Brother Mohammed.
Thank you for calling. 342-0081 and 466-5391. And one factor as well about these global anti-racism demonstrations, which I don't think has been discussed enough, but it is the counter demonstrations and the implanting of persons to disrupt, to carry out acts of violence, and to distract away from the major cause and purpose of these demonstrations. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, greetings going on.
Greetings, my brother.
Yeah, Carnage, yeah,
Carnage. Which part of Carnage are you?
Easy.
Where?
Easy, right up on the inlet.
Okay, right, yeah. Because I heard there was something happened there yesterday in Scorpion.
Yeah, well, boy, the kid is alright soon, but I don't want to say I'm accustomed to it, but I go going on. But I was having a discussion with a Rasta Aboriginal last night, and he telling me how I got red, man. He said, I got Douglas. When you go to Africa, they ain't calling you African, you know. They're calling you a Douglas. The boys will anybody here saying that, right? So
that is so not true. First of all, that word I don't believe is used in Africa. It's an exclusively, basically a Trinidadian pejorated word that came out of the Hindustan language.
Right, well, I'm glad you mentioned that because I told him to tune on to Brother David Mohammed from 79. I went and call and he got his answer.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Right, I ain't even enough to talk to him because, you know, that kind of way. But I'll let somebody else call him. Now I've got one I like radio.
All right. Thank you. And let me explain that. Because the term Dogla came out of one of the Hindi languages, and it means bastard child of a prostitute. Yes. Ask any pundit or anyone who is familiar with the Hindi Sanskrit. The word Dogla means bastard child of a prostitute. And the history behind it is that around the early days of indentureship in this country, 1845 to 1917 in particular, and with the end of indentureship and the decline in some industries and the social intermixing beginning between ethnic groups, according to the basic history of Trinidad and Tobago, and at a time when illiteracy was pretty high as well, when an East Indian woman had given birth to a child that was fathered by an African man, and they did not want the family to know, it would be said by the mother that she did not have sexual relations with the black man, but that she, while pregnant for her Indian husband, was frightened by a black man, which had an effect on the biology of the baby, which came out looking black. So an Indian woman giving birth to a child fathered by a black man was considered to be illegitimate, and the woman was denounced for those relations with a black man. So hence the woman was scorned as a prostitute. And the child was considered a bastard. So the term dogla was used. It was a Hindi word. Now the word has been what is called pejurated, where now in contemporary language it means a mixed race child between African and Indian. And some even take pride in the usage of the term, but its original term was based on the endemic racism within the East Indian community for African people. And it was a term used as a description for a child that was of mixed race between African and Indian. Those are the facts. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. Could you kindly inform us if there was chattel slavery in Africa before the European man went down and saved our foreparents? And what type of...
Ouch. Don't know what happened there, but you can try calling back if you like. That's a very, very tricky question, because the answer to that question is, if we're talking about the kind of enslavement that we went through under the Europeans in the Western Hemisphere, no, that never happened anywhere else. And what they tried to do is they tried to conjure up this bogus narrative to suggest that, okay, once there was slavery somewhere, it was the same as the slavery here. No, the slavery that we went through wasn't just slavery. Slavery was a small part of it. That was a Holocaust. That was genocide. That was dehumanization. That was mass murder and slavery, which was part of the African Holocaust. So we cannot compare what happened in the African Holocaust with, okay, so there was slavery here, there was slavery there, there was slavery in Egypt, there was slavery in this part, there was slavery in that part, there was slavery in Greece, there was slavery in Rome. No, it's not the same. But thanks for that. Caller, good morning.
Morning, David Mohammed.
How are you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm doing fine.
Very good.
I listened to your callers this morning. I was within my plans out in the front, but I had the cell phone out there to hear the program. And I heard one of your callers is objecting, or he said, I'm not sure because I was outside, I wasn't hearing clear. He's uncomfortable. I'm using my words, not his words. Talking about the Indians and the racialism, and he has a business, correct?
Yeah, well, we dealt with that. No, honestly.
Let me tell you, when I hear people, okay, he has a business and he fear for his customers. But I want to say to him, Inshon Ishmael did a video, somebody sent me a video where Inshon Ishmael spoke about, you saw it, right?
Of course.
About racialism and the Indians and how they're racial and whatever. So he said it. And I know some would have jumped out at what he said. You know what? Inshon getting the tag what John F. Kennedy got in the United States in the 60s. They call him the N-lover. And this person, V.J. Rampersad, is calling Inshon Ishmael a foolish N-lover. Right? And he is saying, we on top, and all our businesses we gain, and we exams we do the tops in the country, really, and they need how we put it, we don't need them, they don't need us, we need them. And I am saying, really? He's serious? Brother David, let me tell you something. You listened to the program in the night with Sadra and Tony on 90.5. And I'm sure you could remember Remember when a lady called in and said, when it was the 1818 and Anna Robinson gave his 2 seats to Patrick Manning. Remember when the lady said poison them end with the doubles?
Oh,
You could remember that?
I vaguely remember a talk like that going around.
Brother David,
It wasn't just
you know,
one statement. It
that
was
yes, and I called in and I told Sadra, and he said, oh, but you didn't see I cut you off. She done say what she had to say. And I said to him, I say, well, after tonight, I say, I will not be buying doubles again, and I will let all my family know not to buy doubles. I say, because they have a lot who will think just like her and do it. That, Brother David, you know what I started doing? From that day onwards to now, when I go to the port, I'm getting ready to go just now. I just wanted to call in. I go to the market. I look, you know, African people in business like to say, we don't support their own. Brother David, since that would have been, I think, in 2000 or whenever the 1818 took place. From then to now, I purchase only from my African brothers and sisters in the central market. Up to today, I do it. I do renovations on my home. I went to Docks Hardware on the Big Martin Main Road. But if you see bills I have from Docks Hardware, I feel proud to support that black man. Right? Because my landlord, before I moved back home in my parents' home, my landlord is who told me, Docks Hardware is owned by African man. Anything you have to buy there. And boy, this is what I do. I support them because when I went to the market 2 weeks ago or a month ago, some brothers selling cassava, I passed them and one of them say, Moms, come and buy from me now. I say, I'm coming back. So he say, yeah, you're coming back. And I wanted to buy it when I'm heading back to the car and I came back. And when I came back, I told them, they even remember me. I said, I come back for the cassava. Yeah, the fella, well, it was 3 of them. Oh, gosh, you really come back? I said, yes, I told you I was coming back. He said, girl, he said, lady, some people, it is rather to go and buy from other people than to support their own. I said, not me. And I gave him the history about what was said on 1990.5 and what I started doing from then. I said, I will continue to do it. People jumping out now because, Black Lives, I have been doing it since that 1818 elections. I woke up and I realized, oh yeah, and you know, they are so tricky. You know what they do? Now, I am going to the market, so I know all the vendors. When that statement was made on that program that night, the week after I went to the market, the businesses, the little shops in the market that was owned by Indian business, you know what they did? They had 2 African boys out in the front line. So you would
that's a common strategy. That's a common strategy where we are put out front as the face.
Put them out there, and they will say, oh, look, I'm supporting a black man. I watch them good. I know the vendor. I know who it was. When the boys finished collect the money from them, they went and they handed it to him in the back. They couldn't fool me. So let me move on from that. Support your own, all your. Brother David, I felt so good when I saw Winston Churchill statue was taken down. I was shocked because when
it wasn't taken down. It wasn't taken down.
It wasn't taken down.
It was defaced.
Oh no, it's the Edward Cole. What's the guy name?
Yeah, Edward Colston.
That one they pulled down.
And Robert Milligan.
Right, they need to pull down Churchill too.
Yeah, but they won't do that though because that's their hero.
Yeah, how would you feel? All right. So, because some people, I'm taking down stats, you ain't gonna do nothing, and all this crap with this talk. Some of them, like, they don't read or they don't know history. How would you, all right, Dole Shady, Edward Colson, you say he donated this and he gave charity. Dole Shady, I remember when he was hung, you remember people down in where he was from there?
Of course.
He used to buy the school book, pay their light bill, phone bill. So he was like a hero for them.
Yeah.
Would they like to see a statue go up down in Barra Park or wherever it happened?
Yeah. Thanks a lot for that. We're going to pause for a short break, a short one, and we'll be right back. Don't go away.
On the streets, because we talk to the streets.
Come talk with us on the Street 919 FM.
Get Get interactive with the Street 919 FM.
All day, every day. See us all live on our Facebook page.
Share and comment on our show.
Like our page.
Chat with our live on-air announcers.
The Street 919's Facebook page.
Live and interactive all day, every day. The Street 919 FM.
Come talk with us.
This is Pastor Charles from the Upper Room Ministry. Tune into the Street 91.9 FM every Wednesday from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. for a time of prayer and intercession. I want you to know that we are going to have a TIME time in the presence of God, lifting up our nation, lifting up our families in prayer. I'm looking forward, my God, for you to join with me. Praise God, every Wednesday, praise God, praying for our nation, praying for our families, praying for our children. Join with me every Wednesday at 12 midnight. Tune into the Street 91.9 FM. God bless you.
This is Wayne Delamore, Head Consultant and Director of Natural Health Solution. With over 15 years of experience in clinical nutrition and microscopy, we specialize in early detection and prevention. We incorporate evidence-based nutrition and science-driven analysis. Tune in to our educational program every Wednesday right here on the Street 91.9 FM. For appointments, call 222-2189 or 304-5816. At Natural Health Solutions, we offer a natural solution to healthy living.
Join Wayne Delamore on Wednesdays from 9:15 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. right here on the Street 919 FM.
Renting a car in Tobago should be quick, affordable, and easy.
Wow.
Here at Oni Rentals, we make the process as simple as possible by using our easy e-sign-up. Yep, we can sign you up from just about anywhere using our tablets. See? All done. And everything goes straight into the cloud. Yeah, you're on your way. Are you coming to Tobago? Book your car rental with us and enjoy the most affordable rates in Tobago. But hurry, because cars go pretty fast. Call 361-1042. That's 361-1042. One more time, 361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals, Tobago, taking you further.
This is Reverend Dr. Glenroy Frank inviting you to tune in every Monday evening at 6:15 for the Light and Life Outreach Program. This program is sponsored by the People's Pentecostal Church. So come join us live and hear this word of God that is able to build and to strengthen your life. The Light and Life Outreach Program every Monday, 6:15. God bless you.
We know the street because we talk to the street.
Come talk with us on the Street 919 FM.
All right, welcome back. It's 8:34 in Trinidad and Tobago. You're listening to The Black Agenda. I am David Mohammed. We're going up to 9 o'clock and we're taking your calls. Let's go straight back to the phone lines. Caller, good morning.
Brother Mohammed, good morning.
Good morning to you.
I have to say this. There is one woman who really did us damage, but not us in particular, but the brothers in America, particularly in Boston.
Who's that?
Her name is Annie Dukan.
Who?
Annie Dukan. Look it up on YouTube. This great Boston lab technician. She sent 21,000 African brothers to jail. Fake lab testing. She's from San Fernando.
Well, that was my next assumption, obviously, a Trinidadian.
Yes. She lied concerning she credentials, being having a master's in chemistry.
Wow.
Did some serious damage, and what cinched it was that it was summertime, and it had a conversation on RTTV. They actually give us the email record between her and the district attorney talking about how they want to send them to jail. Destroyed countless lives. When I want, I pick me up I mean, it's a negative thing, but I don't know what time it is. These riders what? Because it's serious.
Yeah, and you know something, caller? There are a number of cases in our history where people with either racist attitudes or perspectives made either errors or mistakes or deliberate tampering or interference with evidence in a case or a testimony that has caused the loss of life. In Black Studies, my book, there's a section on racial hoaxes, which includes the Central Park 5, where stories were made up, accusations were leveled, things were said to incriminate innocent black people, and because it was considered believable by the authorities, prosecution went ahead. Do you know about the Central Park 5?
I have a cutting on them already, and I looked them up on YouTube already. So we're talking about is not no. I heard about it before, and I looked them up on YouTube already.
Right. Do you know who was pushing hard for the Central Park 5 to be to receive the death penalty? There's one famous modern figure who made it his personal duty by taking out full-page ads, full-page double spreads in major newspapers across America, calling for the death penalty for the Central Park 5. Are you familiar with who that was?
No, I'm not familiar with that person.
It was President Donald Trump. As a businessman throughout the 1990s, took out a number of full-page ads calling for the execution of the Central Park 5, only to find out some almost 20 years later that it was false evidence that was given. It was a white man who had beaten and raped this woman, but she blamed these 5 black men, and it was picked up on so quickly. It's one of the most horrifying miscarriages of justice. But the thing is, we have a lot of stories like that. Someone spent 5 years in jail, 10 years in jail, 20 years in jail because of some fabricated evidence that someone made up. It's a hell of a thing.
When Ms. Buchanan was tried in court in Boston, right? They wanted to give her a year.
1 year?
1 year, one year, maximum 3 years. For decades.
Well, my brother, thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much for your call. I appreciate it very much. I have to look up more on that case. And I say with great pride that the man who is the, I believe his official position is the state attorney or the attorney general for the state of Minnesota, who is laying the charges on Derek Shiven, who knelt on the neck of George Floyd. I say with pride that the state attorney who's laying the charges, who upped the charge from 3rd degree to 2nd degree murder, is a brother from the Nation of Islam. His name is Keith Elliston. He's also known as Keith Mohammed, but they put a lot of pressure on him. So there's some distance between us at this point, but he was a brother in the Nation of Islam, and he's now the state prosecutor for the state of Minnesota, and he's dealing with that case. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Brother David.
Good morning to you.
Thanks for that, brother. But before I get into what I wanted to say, I want to tell you that you were trying to remember, you said there was a statue of Gandhi in South.
Right,
and
it's
guy was trying to
Q
remember.
Place, is it?
Saying, yes, on
Q
Phillip
Place,
Street
yeah.
Right, so there's a statue in a little circle there.
Yes.
So that's what I already had in mind to tell you. And I like Miss Digo Martin. Miss Digo Martin, I like you. There was an Indian guy who put out a post. He used to sell on a stall, I wouldn't say where, but on the highway, close to, coming close to Rima. And he had put out a post because I saw it and I saw the person's face. And he said, when people come here, up the price. He will up the price, double it. And hear what? I knew the person I used to buy there and never went back there. Never, Brother David. And I wanted to ask you, have you ever listened to some of these speeches by the former UN ambassador to the African nations? I think it's
the sister.
Sister Kwao.
Of course. Well, listen, on my television program on Gael TV, I ran her speech, a 12-minute speech that she did, and also an interview that she did in America.
Oh, very good.
Because there was also a petition which I signed online for her reinstatement.
Yes.
You know, but she powerful sister.
Very powerful. I normally would follow up her speeches online.
Yeah.
You know, on YouTube.
There's an interview that she did
powerful.
as well. An interview that she did in America. I mean, just brilliant sister.
Brilliant, man. Oh, God. And they want to say that we have half the brains or quarter the brains of what white people have. I don't know where people have come up with these bits, you know. But there's a video someone sent me of an Chinese scientist doing research. And he was doing the research on zebrafish.
Mm-hmm.
You ever saw that one?
I don't think I have.
And they showed where the stripes in the zebrafish, something about it, I forget how the actual video went, but it showed where black people, white people originate from black people, and he was shocked into reality to believe that he come from the African race as well. And that was a science he was doing on zebrafish. I must send it for you.
You should.
Yes.
You should.
Yes. So they can't stop us, you know, Brother David. They could try, but they can't kill the African man. So they could do what they want. They have to love us. If they want to love us, they go have to lump us. but for us, the staying, we have to stay. Thank you, Brother David. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Zena. Good to hear from you. Caller, good morning.
Hi, Brother David. Morning.
Good morning. Need to speak up a bit, though.
Oh, Lord. I know. I had to get myself a new phone, but you hear me?
I am.
Okay. What the gentleman called there just now and said about this person in Boston, right, who had this fake thing.
Dukan.
That's right. Because I remember, I had called you, I think, on it also. Because I had called and mentioned it on many radio stations. And nobody had followed up that. It was a darkish East Indian woman. And nobody had followed the media, the local media didn't follow up on that, they didn't think. But if that was a black person that did that, you could imagine it would have been trusted all over social media. You understand? So they just use the media, that's why I said it's media, to either make you or it could really break you. That's why I'll always say thank God.
Ouch. All right, thank you for your call. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Brother David.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, seeing that we were talking about person falsely accused, remember the 14-year-old boy who was accused of killing these 7 and 11-year-old girls, white girls?
Where, in America?
Yeah, in America.
Oh, okay.
And he was electrocuted, you know?
Yes, in Texas, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And of course, as always, years later, they normally just find the evidence that overturn the cases.
Yeah. And no one pays the price. Exactly.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, my brother. It's 8:45, people. Let's continue with our calls. Good morning. Caller.
Good morning.
Yes, I think you need to turn the volume down on your radio. Good morning to you.
How are you doing, my brother?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, you're right. I went and speak to your boy there just now.
How's he doing? Wasn't he supposed to join us online last week?
I think I remember to tell him now.
Okay, all right. Well, please remind him.
Yes, I will call him just now as I come off the phone.
So what's up?
Yeah, brother David, last week, Sunday, I heard a discussion from a young lady.
Sunday?
on the radio here, and she was talking about racialism. Brother David, I think you do a program on racialism. I think we people really don't understand what is racialism. And just like the lady was saying there just now, what is racialism? Now, racialism starts because white was going around black. When they went down into India, and they see these black Indians, and they was having intercourse with the Indians, right? But that's after, right?
That's how racism started?
Yeah, well, let me explain,
I'm very interested to hear about this.
Yeah, it started when this man, Alexander the Barbarian. I don't call him great because there is nothing great about it. You understand? Nothing great about this man, and I ain't calling him gentleman.
640 BC.
Yes, he went down into India with his boyfriend and leave his wife home. What I'm saying is, what the whites know about us?
We call him. We call him Alexander the Snake.
Right, he's all that. He's everything bad. There's nothing great about him, and you had to wipe him out of history too, because it's the same thing that he have done. But what the whites understand is that their genes are receptive, and the black genes are dominant, so they understand the dominant gene. Like look in England, this white man, we just say, but we mix and all kind of thing. There is nothing called mix, and the whites there's always laugh at us when we talk these stupidness and call mix, and I mix it this and I mix it that.
That is a very third world concept. Mixed,
correct.
Mixed.
Yeah, and if you listen to the Queen, the Queen never say is a mixed child, because the mother of the child is mixed between black and white. But here what she know that the black genes are dominant. Now you can't mix with black. Anything come around black, everything, it may look white, but it's actually black, because the dominant genes will always take over, and we genes are dominant. So they understand us, but we don't understand them. And I just try to tell my people, stop saying we mix. You're not mixed. Anything come in contact with African, it's African. And that way they understand, because they understand that if it continues, the race will annihilate, we will annihilate the race. So they understand that. That's why they're trying to annihilate us, because we're the only people that can annihilate them. Because they're so fascinated with black women. That is where the can just come in. When you look at Italy, why it is they have different
Sicilians.
Yeah. Right, because all the kings and all the great men used to go across to Africa and choose these nice women, and they're so fascinated by these African women that they used to go across and have sex with them, and make sure and marry these women. It's in the 12th century is where racialism coming. Before that, they didn't have that, because they get to understand the dominance of the black gene, and they understand that they will be annihilated. I don't know if you ever watch this thing. For people to watch up the story on Yakub.
Of course.
You're right. Black people will even go up on the net punching Yakub and say
that's in Message to the Black Man by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah. But David, every time I come to your phone, I just want to do.
I did a lecture on that at Nalis.
Okay. But I think do a little thing on racialism. What I really wanted to say is this girl last week, she was talking, this black girl, and she talking about racialism. And what we have to understand and try to tell to our youths, don't get carried away.
Who's this now?
Something last week, a young lady, I tried to call her in, and she was taking ill calls last week Sunday. And she was talking, and I tried to call her, but until she stopped. Don't do that. Don't talk uninformed, because you're going to misinform people. We've seen too much trouble for you to talk on things where you have no knowledge on. Go and seek knowledge, But I wanted to talk to you too again, the SWAT sticker.
Yeah.
Last week, Saturday, I was listening to a different station, And a man say that this swastika came from
Hinduism.
Germany. Yeah, it's Hinduism.
Yeah.
But everything, nothing predates Northeast Africa, which is Egypt. What was called Kemet. What was called Kemet. The meaning of the word Kemet is
the land of the burnt-skinned ones.
Or the land of the black land, or the land of the black.
Yeah.
And the swastika, if you look at the swastika, it's 4 equal squares. The swastika have nothing to do with Jew. You see, Wayne didn't know about the Northeast Africans, and he understand the greatness of the Northeast Africans. So he borrowed the swastika, and the swastika just simply represent the sun. There's not no Indian treasure. But why people just myth? Knowledge is there for everyone. Go seek. This man, Dr. Ben Yusuf Yokanan.
Yeah.
These fellas speak on these things and go in depth to really educate us.
Did you go to see him speak when he came to Trinidad back in 1995?
Well, Brother David, is you make me, I want to tell you this, is you make me, and back in that time you wasn't there. So I wasn't here. You make me, so I is your product,
Well, let me just give you a quick one. Dr. Yusuf Ben Yokanan was in Trinidad. He spoke at the Port of Spain Library, the old library that used to be upstairs, City Hall there. And a man stood up and Dr. Ben was elderly back then. He was. He passed away. And before he passed away, he gave all of his books, 35,000 books, to the Nation of Islam, to Minister Louis Farrakhan. It was a beautiful. So in fact, I'll try to get that clip and play it sometime. But anyway, this man in Trinidad said to him, "But Dr. Ben, why we have to keep going in the past and digging up what happened back then, and going into all this history? I mean, what matters now is today, why we going into, man really tried to kind of make a scene.
Yeah.
And then, Dr. Ben was quiet, humble, listened to him. And then when the man was finished with his question, Dr. Ben said to him, in his accent, he said, "Do you have a bird paper?" And the man said yes. And then Dr. Ben said, "When you get home tonight, throw it in the rubbish."
Dr. Mohammed, I'm glad to describe you as that. This next man, Dr. John Henry Clark.
Yeah.
I'll dare anybody who's listening to us today, like they're listening to us now, go up on your net, go up on YouTube, punch in Dr. John Henry Clark, The Great Debate.
Yeah.
People, please, or they go listen to him speak. He take on some white people talking about his story and correct them with history, because history cannot lie. And you must understand, history can't lie. A person can get their story, but history cannot lie. Always remember, history cannot lie because it happened. Just like the birth paper, it will always be there because your birth happened. And we have to understand, history cannot lie. You understand? So I dare anybody to do it. Yeah, go up on YouTube, go up on the net, punch in Dr. John Henry Clark, The Great Debate. He take on some white people on their history.
But he was one of the greatest of all time. Him and Dr. Ben.
But you make me, and it's glad and I'm wanting to hear you. And you caused me to study to make my children the way how they are today.
Well, I appreciate it, and I know you're very, very proud of those great children that you have. And we are looking to them for leadership.
You ought to be proud too, because you did it.
All right, praise be to Allah. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much for calling in. All right. And this is where I leave it for this morning, but I'll be back on Monday evening for the Black Agenda. Remember, Mondays and Tuesdays from 9 to 11 p.m. and Saturday mornings from 7 to 9. Stay tuned to Street 919 FM, and may Almighty God, Allah, continue to bless you as I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Day Talk You talk, come talk with us. On the street, 919 FM.